One. Welcome, everyone, to Every Woman Empowered's Chit Chat. And I am your host, Shauna J. Cerniak, the founder of Every Woman Empowered. And alongside are my co-hosts,
Johnny Galarno, international artist and resident artist for Every Woman Empowered.
Neela Janu, certified laughter yoga instructor, founder of Let's Laugh Yike, and happiness ambassador for Every Woman Empowered.
And our special guest today is Jessica Malcolm, and she is from High Society Beauty and the director of Beauty at All Stages. Welcome, Jessica.
Thank you. Hi, everyone.
Welcome, and you're looking a little under the weather there.
I must have caught something at work.
No kidding. So I heard that you have won an award recently. Tell us about it.
I did, actually, on my birthday on Saturday.
Wow.
I won the International Indigenous Fashion and Arts Award, and I was Makeup of the Year.
Wow.
So,
and how is that recognized? Like, who is it through? What's it about? Tell us a little bit about this award.
it's through the Indigenous Fashion Week.
Yes.
And so next year I'll be going to New York Fashion Week to do makeup.
Whoa!
Yes, with one of the Indigenous designers. I'll be receiving an award very shortly, an engraved award. And I'm going to be featured on all of their social media and a new magazine that's coming out called Indigenista.
Indigenista. I love that
Wow.
name. Wow. And so obviously you are Indigenous.
Yes.
And
Yes, I am.
are you Treaty? Are you Métis, Inuit?
I'm Métis and Cree.
Oh, that's awesome. Well,
So make Cree.
congratulations. Congratulations.
Bakery.
What did you say?
Make Cree.
I love that. Well, that is awesome. What an honor to win that award. And how many participants were you going against to win this?
There was 4 of us
Yes.
that were nominated. So
Across Canada.
Internationally.
Internationally.
Actually. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So this is
Mhm.
all around the world, everyone
Yeah.
together, and what defined you to win it? What was it that you did? Did you do the makeup that you're currently wearing, like theatrical makeup, or
No.
what type?
No, it was more editorial makeup that I submitted, like photo shoots that you would, I guess, would have kind of like a Vogue flair to it. The type of styling that I do for photo shoots is like early 90s kind of Kate Moss is my big gig. So it wasn't this, that's for sure.
Right.
And how long did it take for this look to come together tonight?
I started this at like 7:45.
So about an hour and 15 minutes?
Yeah, about so, because I was ready early. I
Right.
just didn't know if I was going to do contacts or not, so I was switching them around for a bit.
Well, that one eye is kind of freaky. That's
Yeah.
I know.
I'm glad you did put the contacts in. Just completes the whole look.
Yeah, I keep catching a glimpse of myself, and I'm like, what's wrong with my eye? But
Right. Well, Jessica, I understand that you've gone through some major life events and challenges. Can you kind of share how you've come through those just even stronger than before?
yeah, I am a cancer survivor. And before I had cancer, I was a petroleum engineer and wasn't super happy with my life anymore. So having cancer and, having the opportunity to survive it, it's like so many don't, it just gave me a lot of perspective on what I was missing and that I wasn't doing what I loved. And that it also gave me a platform that I needed to be an advocate because so many people don't understand how cancer affects you as a person. Like they only understand how it affects your body, not so much your like your mental health and how you look at yourself in the mirror. So it gave me the opportunity to start Beauty at All Stages after I started High Society Beauty.
Wow. So what is this Beauty for All Stages, and what does it mean to you?
Beauty at All Stages is for women who are currently going through treatment or are post-treatment after a cancer diagnosis. And what it does is it teaches them how to live with their new skin or their new hair, and just understand that beauty comes from within. And when you feel good, when you feel good with yourself, your health does improve too. Like if you're not, depressed and overwhelmed, if you can put on your best face to the world, as kind of flippant as it sounds, it really does help. And it means a lot to me, because when I was going through my treatment, I didn't have a lot of peers who understood what I was going through. There was a lot of people who wanted to help, and but weren't in the same position. So being able to empathize in a way that others can't really means a lot to me.
Oh, you have a huge heart. Can you share with us kind of where that came from and more about what you're doing to lift others in your community?
That really came from just the way I was raised. It's my mom, my dad, and life experiences. You kind of become jaded as you get older, and cancer was definitely one of those kick in the butts that I needed. And the amount of support I received from complete strangers was overwhelming. So it was kind of as a reminder, like, I need to step this up. Like, I have the time to do this. I should be helping more. But also within like my Indigenous community, I do a lot of workshops with the Métis Association of Alberta, teaching young women different beauty practices, but also self-esteem, and how to, perform within job interviews and things like that. So.
It's awesome.
Awesome. I saw you did a Makeup 101 event earlier this year, and I thought, I wanna attend this. Me and my mom, we gotta see the next one.
Yeah, that one was supposed to be in person. That took a lot of engineering to get that one going because of COVID. Yeah, it was all supposed to be in person, and the unfortunate thing was we had a bunch of participants lined up, but then we had to kind of switch things to a different format, but it worked out in the end. So
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool. So what's your next project, adventure that you're striving towards right now?
is definitely New York City. So Fashion Week next year is like my big deal, and I'm hoping with the exposure that I can get from, just this award, and from being within the community and participating more in my community, that I'll eventually be able to open up a studio that's not only for my artistry, but also helps other Indigenous artists and youth, like try to find entrepreneurship, or their way in the fashion industry, because it's a difficult nut to crack, and there's not a lot of mainstream Indigenous designers or makeup artists. So I'd like to be able to provide that space, for our next up and comers.
That's awesome.
Pretty cool.
And you said you were in science. You were an engineer before. So, I mean, how do we get more girls interested in sciences? I know you made the switch, but
yeah. Oh no, I still participate in like the WISE program, the Women in Sciences and Engineering. STEM is very important. I'm still very entrenched within science, just not so much engineering anymore. I think giving girls confidence, and from like a very young age within their academics helps a lot, and finding peers and also mentors that they can look up to, like, oh well, this is not your typical scientist or, math major. Once they realize that there are scientists out there that are just like me, that are quirky and, have normal lives, we're not that stereotype. I think with just a lot of mentoring and kind of breaking that glass ceiling of it just being a boys club.
Right.
I think that goes for any industry, like you're saying,
Yeah.
you need more awareness about Indigenous artists in the makeup industry. So yeah, I think it goes across all areas. Having that
Yeah.
role model makes a big difference.
Mhm.
Yeah, it definitely does. If there's a mentor or somebody you can look up to, that's 100% a game changer. And having somebody in your corner, who has experience and believes in you, I think that's life changing.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So where, so your hopes are to go to New York next year.
Yeah.
Now we know what's going on across the world with COVID. If things continue to be the way they are, have you thought of other ways of being able to expand your business and or continue what you're doing?
Yeah, even without New York, I'm starting to look at commercial spaces, just to move things. So it's safer for me to practice what I practice, wouldn't be in my home or mobile. So I can, I guess, have more control of the environment.
Right.
But regardless of whether or not COVID lets up, I still have to, keep working on some level, either, with people who are affected with cancer and keep up my advocacy, or else just my actual work as an artist. Because I think it's important to have if you have a stage that's multi-dimensional, then you can only bring more attention to your cause.
Right. And
Yeah.
I have to ask you, it's really hard to tell how old you are.
She's 100 years old, Shada, obviously.
I'm
300 years old.
Yeah. So, how old are you?
38.
You're 38 years young.
No way.
Yeah.
You look way older.
I know. Bad skincare.
Yeah.
Done.
That's amazing what you've already accomplished at 38, and to also have gone through cancer. How long ago was that you had cancer?
I've been cancer free for 2 years now.
Oh, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, that's
Thank
good to
you.
hear. It's, when you hear those great success stories of those who are cancer free, it's so wonderful to hear. And the fact that you are sharing your story and helping so many others. The thing that really intrigued me is you were saying that to feel confident in their skin. With cancer treatments, does it affect your skin?
Yes. Yeah, it
Yes.
affects, so your skin changes completely. And like the texture of my skin had changed. Also, my color had changed a lot. And then you lose things like your eyelashes and your eyebrows and your fingernails and then your hair, right? So you start not to recognize that woman in the mirror anymore. And the hit that takes to your mental health is not, it doesn't put you in a good position for healing. You need that positivity. You need to be able to still be proud of that person looking back at you. And it's not even a vanity thing. It's just, if you can't walk with pride, with your head up and feeling good, then it's easy to kind of give up in your battle.
Right. Makes total sense. Wow.
Well, you look at that person as a survivor, right? It kind of, that's the mentality you kind of have to have when you see that change, because you're
Yes.
still here, right? Another day, right?
Yeah. It's hard to see the forest for the trees, though, sometimes. When you're in treatment and everything is uncomfortable and physically you don't feel well, and then, externally you don't feel like you look well. And the less well you look, the more questions you get, which can also be detrimental to your mental health. So you kind of lose sight of that survival mode sometimes. But with a good support team, or with programs, not just like mine, there's plenty out there. You have people in your corner, to kind of lift you up and remind you what you're doing,
Yep.
and why you're fighting.
Exactly. Now, today, we're just days away from a pretty important date to you. I believe that's October 31st. That happens to be one of your favorite days.
It is. The favorite.
Yes. Do you do a lot of makeup for this time of year?
I do. I
Yeah.
do a lot. Yeah. Either through tutorials, I'll teach people how to do simple, like special effects with things that they can find in their house, or if they want to, buy things, then they can definitely do that. Give them tutorials on how to make their own looks, or else I do, my own makeup for others, which is always fun. I love creating gross things. And that seems to be in high demand, so I love it.
So what's been your favorite design that you've done so far?
Oh, last Halloween, I called her barbed wire. So I just had this wire wrapped around like my head and my neck, and it was like indented into my skin, like the way I had molded it, and it was kind of bloody and choky, and it looked really simple. Like, it was a very clean look, but I think it was probably the most creepy that I've done. And it was all in its simplicity.
Right.
Would that be your most memorable Halloween costume, or is there something from your childhood that really stands out?
That actually wasn't even a costume. I just did that, like, I think it was a Tuesday. But Halloween has always been a big deal for my family. Like, we'd always make our costumes when we were younger. I think the best one is my mom and I were scarecrows. And
Ooh.
Aww.
yeah, but we were scary because I sat on the porch scaring little kids.
That's
So I think that
amazing.
was one of my most memorable ones.
So, like, do you ever, like, sometimes, go to bed looking gorgeous and then waking up your partner and going with the makeup? Because I think I would just, like, have a total headache at scaring the bejeebies out of my man.
Yes, I do. I do that. There's times where I'll have trouble sleeping, so I'll be like, oh, I'm just going to do a quick look. And I will. Typically, it starts off for Instagram, but then it ends up just terrifying anybody I can kind of get my hands on.
Bonus!
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, last night I watched a scary movie with my son, and I don't watch scary movies. I'm not a fan of scary movies, anything scary, because I'll get nightmares. And one of the scenes was this girl is in bed with her man, and she's snuggled up with him, and then all of a sudden the guy walks into the room, and she's like, "What?" And it's this face and these hands appear, and it just, like, even now I get the weebie-jeebies from it. And it's like, like, I look at your face and it's like, yeah, like that would, if I woke up to that, oh my goodness, you would hear me across the city screaming. Like, no, I don't do well with scary stuff. I haven't even gone to a haunted house because
Really?
yeah, I'm terrified of those sort of things. So yeah, just even I have a hard time looking at your face because yeah. So I'll probably have nightmares about you tonight, Jessica. Darn it all, anyways.
Yes.
She's a wussy. She can't help it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, And I think we have a couple more questions, and then we're going to have to leave. Girls, do you have
Okay.
any questions?
Oh, I got a silly one. If you were an ice cream flavor, what flavor would you be and why?
Neapolitan, because it's got a little bit of everything,
Yeah.
and strawberry's not everyone's favorite, but I got a little not so favorite in me too, so
I love it.
my red streak, I guess.
What is your all-time favorite scary movie?
Oh, well, see, I really love scary movies, so there's different categories.
Oh, there's different categories.
There's horror, there's
But I think-
spiritual.
Yeah, and then there's like slasher and
Yeah.
horror stuff. So I think probably the Insidious series is like, they're my favorite. I watch them a lot. Anything that has to do with ghosts, I'm cool with. I watch ghost shows nonstop.
That's awesome.
What would be your favorite Halloween candy?
Ooh.
Oh, to the fruity flavored Tootsie Rolls.
Fruity flavored Tootsie
Oh,
Rolls.
yeah.
Ooh.
Those,
Yeah,
you don't get those
lemon
in your
and
bag
strawberry.
very often.
No, and they're
No.
hard to find in store.
Yes. That's a rarity. Like if you get that when you're trick-or-treating, that's a huge score. Or those, the large size chocolate bars.
The full size.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Or a can of pop or a bag of chips. Those
Yep.
are places. Stay away from the dentist because all you get is toothpaste and toothbrushes. But
Yep.
yeah, exactly.
I have one next door, but he
Really?
gives away full size chocolate bars. So
Oh.
he's not a dentist at Halloween.
Well, it helps bring in more business if you think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Those are some nice scores for sure. Well, I just want to thank you, Jessica, for being on the show today. It was such a treat to have you. Congratulations on your award. What a great honor for you, and for you to represent Canada, and let alone Canada, Alberta, Edmonton, and Indigenous people. So thank you very much
Wow.
for being such a creative. And I just want to wish you a happy Halloween, and to all our viewers, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Bye.
Halloween.
Happy
Thanks so
Halloween.
much. Take
Thanks.
care.
Thank you.
Thanks.